So what we're going to do in this video, you will see some footage. I don't know what to call it, but you're not going to see that for too long. What we're going to do in this video is go through what I eat and drink in a day to lose weight. And this is not to say that you guys have to go out, if you want to lose weight, you have to go and eat this stuff. This is just things I enjoy eating. We're going to be going through the calories and the proteins for them, because that's currently the only thing I really track. And one thing to bear in mind is that my maintenance is around 4,100 calories. So that is on the rather high end of the scale. And some people, their maintenance may be even half of that. But this is just some things that I find to be really enjoyable. And this is what has helped me over the last 6 weeks or so of doing my weight loss journey. And at the time of me recording this, I think I'm around somewhere between 6 to 8 kilos down in weight. So each of these are going to have their own little clips, and I will put the stats on the screen as well as telling you. And we're going to start with protein shakes. I don't have these all the time, and I would go out and buy like the whey protein and things like that, but just there's been a lot of powders and stuff that I've tried in the past, and I really do not get on with them. I don't like the taste of a lot of them, so I like to stick to the ones that are pre-made in these bottles. I know they're probably nowhere near as good, but for these two protein shakes you can see in the little clip, they have a total of roughly 400 calories and they are 25 grams of protein each, so in total 50 grams. And I mean, that's going to be quite good for a lot of people. For me, it's not actually that great because my daily target with protein is around 240 to, I'm going to say upwards to 270 grams of protein. The 50 grams is literally just a scratch of the protein I need to intake daily. And then next up, absolutely no protein, but this is my go-to for hydration. And I know I could drink plain water, but the water in my area is not the best at all, and I don't want to go out spending money on the filters and jugs and things like that, at least for the time being. So for now, flavoured water, make sure it's the no added sugar stuff, and per 1 litre bottle there's around 12 calories, so I don't even really count it in my calorie count for the day. And you need to be careful even when it comes to like flavoured water and stuff, because if you get Volvic Touch of Fruit and you get the version that doesn't say no added sugar, that's actually got a lot of calories in it. So always, if you're going to be using any of this stuff that I use to eat and drink, like if you're going to be consuming anything I consume, make sure your flavoured water, if you want that bit of flavour, has no added sugar, because the calorie difference can be ridiculous. And then next up, we have a chicken salad sandwich. This is like homemade stuff, not like bought from the shop, already pre-packaged and stuff. And at the start of my diet, because I started my diet just purely calorie deficit, and then I slowly switched into a body recomp. But now I'm doing that body recomp. Like I started off with ham salad sandwiches, and then I converted over to chicken salad, just because chicken breast fillet has a lot of protein in it. And bread's actually quite good too. So with this sandwich, altogether, it's around 750 calories. And this one in particular, including the bread and everything, is about 76 grams of protein. So what I do is 4 slices of bread, and then I like to have tomato, cucumber, iceberg lettuce. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of onion. And then I put I always buy the packets of the ready cooked chicken breast fillet. And I put a whole pack in a sandwich. I have 4 slices of white bread, and then I top it up with brown sauce because it's a sauce that I enjoy and it's got low calories compared to things like mayo and ketchup. And give or take for this sandwich, so with the 4 slices of bread and everything, it's around 750 calories, which I'd say is not bad at all. And obviously if you're on a much lower maintenance, then you can just have 2 slices of bread and it'll still be enough. Don't put butter in this or anything, because the sauce makes up, it keeps the moisture going and everything. And not only that, there's the tomato, the cucumber, so there's a lot of water, and that just stops it being an incredibly dry sandwich. I really, really enjoy these sandwiches, have them almost every single day. But then what we're going to do is move on to, this meal's been a one-off, but I thought I would add it because I think it's actually really, really good for the nutrients you get in it, and because it's so much better than some of the variants you can get. So it's a microwave meal, and as I said, I've literally had this once, but I have meals that are similar to this, most of the time home cooked. But this is a meat feast pasta, And each microwave meal contains 450 calories and 35 grams of protein. I believe the brand is the Gym Kitchen. I was going to make a short out of this, and that's why this is a vertical footage. So basically this is portrait rather than landscape, or it's 9x16 rather than 16x9, because I was going to do a short for it and then decided to do a long form video. And I also forgot to show the packaging. But I believe it's by the Gym Kitchen. I had 2 of these, so altogether it was 900 calories and 70 grams of protein. And if you think about it, it's less protein, it's 6 grams less protein, and it's 150 calories more than the chicken salad sandwich, but altogether it's not too bad. And then the last thing we're going to cover in this video is going to be almost my go-to dinner. I've had this quite a lot, and I've seen loads of videos where people say, trust me, when you're on a body recomp or you're trying to do strength training, you're getting all of that protein, chicken becomes really boring. And I thought, nah, but chicken's really nice. Then I had it for 2 or 3 days in a row, and I was like, fuck me, chicken does get really boring. So I like to switch between chicken breast fillets. I always go with breast fillets, and I also like to have the 5% sort of lean beef mince. But this meal is chicken, rice, and mushy peas. Mushy peas because they've got more protein than garden peas. And then I use any rice, whether it's basmati, long grain white rice, or even golden vegetable rice. I just stick a rice on the plate so that it's not just chicken and peas. And when it comes to things like chicken, it can be quite confusing at first, until you get used to it. Because if you search how many grams of protein are there in how many grams of chicken, it will tell you, but a lot of the time the results are going to be for raw. And when you cook it, regardless of how you cook it, it loses some of its weight. So you need to go based on a cooked weight rather than a raw weight. And it's the same for pasta, because when you're cooking pasta, the back of the pack might say per 180 grams, but that'll be cooked pasta, and that is the equivalent to 75 grams of dry pasta. So there are some things that make it a little bit more difficult to figure out your intake and stuff. But based on what I've done, based on what I've worked out, this meal, which is chicken breast fillets, some rice and mushy peas, is around 1,300 calories, and it's around 100 grams of protein. So it's really, really good for protein, and it's a little bit on the higher end for calories. But as I said, my maintenance is about 4,100. So even to lose, what would it be, around a kilo a week, even to lose that much weight for me, I can still consume around 3,000 calories a day. And yeah, there's not really much else I eat. I normally wake up, I have my flavoured water, which is typically the rest of a bottle I had open from the night before, because I don't really like drinking cold flavoured water. I leave the bottles sort of stored at room temperature. I don't stick them in the fridge or anything. So I wake up, I drink some flavoured water, then I have my 1 can of Coca-Cola, 1 can of Red Bull or Monster Mango Loco, and then I go back to flavoured water for the rest of the day. And I'll wake up, I'll typically have my chicken salad sandwich, then I might have a couple of protein shakes throughout the day, or even some protein yogurts, maybe 1 protein yogurt, 1 protein shake. I should have probably added protein yogurts to this, in terms of getting a little clip for them. The ones I normally get are the Arla ones, if you've ever heard of that brand. They contain live cultures and everything like that. And I think they're around 140 calories and about 20 grams of protein each. And I've not actually long eaten a couple, so I don't know why I haven't included a clip for them. But yeah, I have the sandwich. Then for sort of my lunch, I'll typically have a protein shake and a protein yogurt or something like that. And then I hold off until the dinner, and then I'll have something like chicken, rice and mushy peas. Or I'll have a spaghetti bolognese, or even a chili con carne, or something mince-based with some rice and everything. And yeah, so far it's done me well. I've lost somewhere in between 6 and 8 kilos. I do have a weigh-in day coming up very soon, if I upload this shortly after recording it. It's currently Tuesday the 5th, and my weigh-in day is going to be Thursday the 7th. So if I've left it a really long time and haven't uploaded it by the time I've done the weigh-in, then I apologise. But based on the time of me recording this video, I'm down somewhere between 6 and 8 kilos in about 6 weeks, which I'm going to say is decent. I don't think the weight's coming off too fast, and I don't think it's coming off too slow either. I'm actually very happy with the progress I'm making. But that is exactly what I eat and drink in a day to lose weight, and we are going to leave that video there. Let me know some of the things that you've eaten that are high in proteins, low in calories and stuff that have helped you out on your weight loss journeys. Let me know all of that good stuff in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.